Today, I'm going to show you how you can improve your speaking, reading, grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation all at the same time, at home, without a partner. And all you need is a book and a dictionary. Although I highly recommend getting 2 dictionary apps for your phone. One that is English to English, and one that also uses your first language. If your English is pretty good, you can just use the English to English dictionary. But if understanding dictionary definitions in English is difficult for you, then it's fine to use a dictionary that translates the words into your first language. So we're going to improve all of these things by reading a book. And what's important here is to understand that your goal is not to enjoy the book. Your goal is not to finish the book quickly. Your goal is to improve and to learn. If you want to read the book quickly and focus on just enjoying the book, that's fine too, but that's not what I'm talking about in this video. As you probably know, my second language is Thai. So in this video, I'm actually going to read a Thai book to show you what you can do with an English book. However, because of copyright laws, I can't read a real book in this video, so I'm just reading 2 paragraphs that I actually wrote myself. If you don't understand Thai, don't worry, that's not important. You don't need to understand the story. You just need to pay attention to what I'm doing. First thing is that I'm going to read everything out loud. I'm going to speak what I am reading. I'm going to do it slowly because I want to focus on correct pronunciation and I want to make sure that I understand what it is about. And I'm going to stop very often because, again, the goal is not to finish the book. The goal is to learn and practice as much as possible. I'm going to read 1 sentence at a time, but if there's something that I find interesting or something that I don't understand, I'm going to stop, look at it, maybe look it up in a dictionary or write something down. Now, I'm going to start reading the story. เด็กชายคนหนึ่งตัดสินใจว่าจะไปตลาดเพื่อซื้อผ้าไหมให้แม่ทุนหัวของเขา Okay, so first thing, that was a whole sentence, and I understood about 95% of it. But there was one word that I've never seen before. The word is แม่ทุนหัว. So what I would do is get my dictionary or my app and check the meaning. After I find the meaning, I'll probably write it in the book. Or if you don't want to write in your book, you can write it down on a piece of paper, a flashcard, a notebook, or wherever you want. So now I've looked it up, and I know that แม่ทุนหัว means godmother. So that first sentence means a boy decided that he would go to the market to buy some silk to give to his godmother. And I saw the word ผ้าไหม, which means silk. And I know that this is a word that I can never remember how to pronounce. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to read it a few times until I feel more comfortable with it. And I might even underline it in the book to make sure that I pay attention when I come back tomorrow and review this page. ผ้าไหม ผ้าไหม ผ้าไหม. And Thai has vowel lengths. Some vowel lengths are short, some are long. I'm not very good at that. But what I'm focusing on here is that it's a rising tone. ไหม, because that's what I always forget. Is silk rising or is it falling? So I'm repeating it a few times so that I can remember how to say it in the future. I'm going to read everything one more time just to make sure that I'm comfortable with it. If there's anything that I'm not comfortable with, then I'll focus on that part again. เด็กชายคนหนึ่งตัดสินใจว่าจะไปตลาดเพื่อซื้อผ้าไหมให้แม่ทุนหัวของเขา Not perfect, but good enough. เมื่อไปถึงตลาดเขาสังเกตเห็นชายอ้วนคนหนึ่งกำลังสานตะกร้า I feel pretty comfortable with the pronunciation here, and again, I understand most of it, but there's one word that I've never seen before. And when there's a word that you don't know, you can think about it and ask yourself, do I need to understand this word right now, or can I skip it? And in this situation, it's a verb. And the verb is important to the meaning of the sentence. If I don't understand this word, I don't really understand what's happening. So I am going to look it up. I've looked it up, and I've learned that this word basically means weave. So this person is weaving a basket. So this sentence basically says, when he arrived at the market, he noticed a fat man weaving a basket. There's also one more word that I noticed. I saw sanget hin, so I know that the word sanget means notice. But what's interesting is that they put the word hin, which means see or saw after it. So right here, I've learned that if we want to talk about noticing something with our eyes, we can add the word see after the word notice. And again, this is about Thai, not about English. So what I do to make sure I remember that is I would underline it and probably write it down and make a flashcard. Also, if you see a word and you're not sure how to pronounce it, most dictionary apps will pronounce the words for you. So if you want to hear how to pronounce them, open the app, listen to the word, and then try to imitate it. If you're not sure how your pronunciation is, I recommend recording yourself using an app on your phone, because normally we don't know how we sound. We don't know how we are actually pronouncing the words. So if you can record yourself and listen to yourself, that can be a very useful tool for improving your pronunciation. Next sentence. เด็กชายไม่มีตะกร้าจึงถามว่าใบละเท่าไหร่ Okay, overall, pronunciation is not perfect, but I feel pretty comfortable. However, I noticed two words that are interesting to me, so I'm going to look at those for a moment, even though I understood the sentence. First, I noticed the word jung, which I never use. I've heard it used before, I've seen it in books, but I myself have never practiced using it, so I'm just going to underline it so that I have an example of how to use it. And then maybe later, I'll come back and I'll practice writing some example sentences with it. And then after I've written the sentences, I'll practice reading them out loud. And that will make it easier for me to use it in a real conversation in the future. Also, I saw the word by, which is a quantifier, and it's a quantifier that is used for many different things. That is why I recognize it and I know what it means. But I didn't know that we use it for baskets, so I'm just going to underline it so that I can see it again in the future and remember that we use it for baskets. I've finished the first paragraph. So now I'm just going to come back, read the whole thing one more time out loud, focusing on pronunciation and trying to check where I feel comfortable and where I don't feel comfortable. If I feel like I'm not pronouncing part of it good, I might spend a few minutes focusing just on one sentence until I feel like I can pronounce it correctly. I'm not going to do that right now because I don't want to waste your time. But I want you to understand that it's okay to read the same thing again and again and again until you feel comfortable. Often, that's the best way to get comfortable with something, is do it until you can do it. Next paragraph. ในขณะนั้นเขานึกขึ้นได้ว่า Okay, so my rhythm wasn't really correct, so I'm going to try to go back and just do it again. ในขณะนั้นเขานึกขึ้นได้ว่า I still don't really feel like it's right, so I'm going to go back and do it again. ในขณะนั้นเขานึกขึ้นได้ว่า So I'm noticing that these two words are just difficult for me to pronounce correctly and make it feel natural within the sentence. So I might just focus on those words for a minute. นึกขึ้น นึกขึ้น ได้ว่า นึกขึ้นได้ว่าลืม นึกขึ้นได้ว่าลืม I think that's correct. Again, it's not going to be perfect because I don't have a teacher, I don't have a partner, but we try our best. So I'm going to try the sentence one more time. ในขณะนั้นเขานึกขึ้นได้ว่าลืมเอาเงินมาจึงต้องกลับไปเอาที่บ้าน Okay, I understand the sentence. It means at that moment, he noticed that he had forgotten his money, so he had to return home to get it. Also, I just realized that I didn't translate the whole first paragraph for you, so let me quickly go back and do that. Basically, this story says, เด็กชายคนหนึ่งตัดสินใจว่าจะไปตลาดเพื่อซื้อผ้าไหมให้แม่ทุนหัวของเขา A boy decided he would go to the market to buy silk for his godmother. เมื่อไปถึงตลาดเขาสังเกตเห็นชายอ้วนคนหนึ่งกำลังสานตะกร้า When he got to the market, he saw a fat man weaving baskets. เด็กชายไม่มีตะกร้าจึงถามว่าใบละเท่าไหร่ He didn't have a basket, so he asked the man how much they were. Again, at that moment, he realized that he didn't have any money, so he had to go home to get it. ระหว่างทางกลับบ้านเขาเห็นครอบครัวหนึ่งเดินทางด้วยเกวียน Okay, so I feel pretty comfortable with the pronunciation here, but there are two words that I'm interested in. The first word I'm interested in because I know what it means, but I never use it in conversation. So I'm going to underline it so that when I come back and read it again, I pay attention to it. And maybe if I have time, I write some sentences with it. And that is ระหว่างทางกลับบ้าน, which means on the way home. And that could be a very useful sentence for me in my daily life. So I probably will write some practice sentences with it later. And at the end of the sentence, I noticed the word gwien, and I don't know what it means. I can tell that this sentence says, on the way home, he saw a family traveling in a gwien. But I don't know what a gwien is. I know that it's some type of vehicle, but I don't know what type of vehicle, so I'm just going to look it up in the dictionary. I've looked it up. It's a wagon. So on his way home, he saw a family traveling in a wagon. And again, the word gwien is new to me, so I'm going to underline it, probably write the word wagon in the book, and maybe make a flashcard so that I can review it later. พ่อของครอบครัวถามเขาว่าอยากนั่งเกวียนไหม The father of that family asked him if he would like to ride in the wagon. And so now that I have read my two paragraphs, I'm going to go back and read it again. Read the whole thing out loud, speaking the words, focusing on correct pronunciation, focusing on saying it smoothly, and trying to feel more comfortable and more confident. And just as an example, this is a real book that I have used to study Thai. You can see that one page has a lot of writing on it. One page might take 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. Because again, our goal here is not to finish the book quickly. Our goal is to learn as much as possible. The harder the book is, the more you are probably going to learn. Personally, I recommend finding a book where on each page you have between 3 and maybe 15 new words. That way, each page you are learning a lot of words. If you read a book and in one whole chapter you only learn 3 new words, yes, you're practicing reading and that's good, but you're not learning a whole lot. So honestly, I recommend finding a book that is a little bit challenging for you. What type of book do you read? Well, that just depends what you are interested in. So yeah, I hope you have found this useful. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And thank you for watching.